Let's see what we got today. Fuck! In this series, we're going to be taking a look at every single Hiya Exquisite basic figure in the Godzilla line. Every repaint, reissue, 2.0, whatever they put out, we're going to be taking a look at them all in release order. Let's get started. Man, just when I thought I was out of the Godzilla repaint game, Hiya Toys ropes me back in with yet another repaint. What's going on, everybody? Today we are taking a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla vs. Kong Heat Ray Translucent version. Something along those lines. Okay, what do we have here? This is another crack at a Heat Ray Godzilla, specifically from Godzilla vs. Kong, only this time Hiya Toys has gone back and they've actually made this entire figure out of clear, transparent blue plastic and then painted over the figure. Look at those beautiful spines. So yes, the whole figure is clear plastic. It's just very cleverly painted over with enough coats where the only thing that should be transparent are the spines. And this does look very nice as it goes down all the way to the very tip of the tail. Now, I feel there is something to be said about the fact that this is cast in translucent clear plastic, and yet they managed to capture all the exact same details, precisely the same. And I do think that is very impressive. The plastic quality feels the same as any other. Even the neck sleeves are still in a softer plastic. The claws are just as sharp. Now, in terms of paint, you're gonna get a very soft, light gray painted onto the body for the base coat. And then there's a very, very subtle application of brown washes applied all throughout the figure. You can see it most notably on the neck sleeves here and on the thigh pieces there between all the plates. Now, where this figure is really going to shine are going to be those dorsal plates. Again, cast in that darker blue. They're going to have some paint fading in from the base of the spine, so you're going to have a much lighter blue, almost white at the base as it transitions into the what I can only assume is the naturally cast color. Much like the previous Heat Ray figure, the mouth and eyes are also going to be painted a lighter blue. However, it is not as heavily painted as the last Heat Ray figure, and you can especially see that around the eyes. Now, speaking of that last Heat Ray figure, let's just get this comparison done now. Now, the most obvious difference is going to be that this time around, Hiya Toys elected not to paint the chest glow, which is a little unfortunate. There also isn't an application of paint on top of the head. My camera will stay focused there. The eyes on the previous Heat Ray figure were white with a blue highlight around them, where on this one, it's just painted blue. There's a smaller highlight, but the entire eye socket is blue. Same with the mouths and the tongues. And then behind the figure, again, on the old one, they painted kind of a fade, a lighter blue around the sides of the body to emulate a glow. On this one, they do not have that, as the whole thing is meant to just give off that glow. Now, just like the previous Heat Ray version, this figure does come with the same accessories, colored a little differently. We'll take a closer look at that beam in just a second here. But the neck sleeve is exactly the same, and it does come with the open mouth that the beam plugs into, exactly the same, just painted differently. Now, here is a closer look at both of those alternate headpieces. Again, the original is going to have that nice blue painted on the neck, while this one is just going to be the base gray. And just like the rest of the figure, yes, these pieces are also completely translucent. And just like last time, here is the Heat Ray effect part. And here's the figure with its Heat Ray effect piece. And here is this figure with the old Heat Ray effect piece. Moving on now to articulation. You know, it's going to be more of the same as what we've been talking about with all these Godzilla figures. The head is on a barbell. It can look down about that far, and it can look up about that far without the alternate headpiece. The mouth is on a hinge, and the tongue is also on a hinge. Waist is on a ball joint. It's very tight on this one. That's even after heating it up. I don't know if that's because of the plastic or if, mine's just abnormally tight. but it can theoretically twist all the way around, although you probably don't want to do that. The shoulders are on ball joints. They can go up about that far, but they can also rotate all the way around. The elbows are on hinges. They can hinge just shy of 90 degrees, and they can swivel all the way around. And the wrists are on ball joints. The thighs are on ball joints. They can fit in towards the body about that much, and they can splay out about that much, and they can rotate all the way around. The knees are on double hinges. They can straighten out about that much and bend just shy of 90 degrees. And the ankles are on ball joints. They can only kick back about that far and bend forward about that far, however. You do get a decent pivot with them. And the tail, that's a new one. Well, I guess we can take a look at now. It is cast in clear plastic and then painted blue, or at least a very light blue. Never had the tail pop off at the base like that before. That is a new one, but it just pops on just like that and is rock solid. Anyway, yeah, as you can see there, that's a ball joint. There's a ball joint there. Oh, we've seen this so many times now. Apologies if you're tuning in for the first time on this video, but man, am I just kind of tired of talking about this mold in such quick succession. You can get the tail curved about that far. The one thing I will say is on all the other figures, the tail does like to pop off about right here, but on this one, it is rock solid. Wow, okay. Rock solid where the tail normally pops off. I guess this one's a little loose at the base of the tail, but hey, there's a first for everything, I suppose. Okay, let us talk about size, shall we? Let's bring back the trusty ruler. This is a 7-inch tall figure when standing at its neutral. And this figure is approximately 12.5 inches long, somewhere in that neighborhood. And here we have our 5 repaints, all of the same mold. And this is why these videos are getting a little shorter every time I cover one of these repaints. These are all great figures. The base figure is great. But outside of a standout repaint like the Burning Godzilla, I mean, what else can I really say at this point? If you have one of these, you have all of them, just in a different flavor. There's no updates to the engineering or articulation between these. There's no new accessories, no unique hands, no unique heads, outside of the heat ray figures, that is. What I'm getting at is what you're buying into is that specific look of the figure, not because it comes with any crazy unique thing that you need to get that figure for, which is both a blessing and a curse. All right, well, wrapping things up already. Sorry if this is a bit of a quickie. My apologies if I sound a little dismissive. The main selling point of this figure is the translucent plastic, and that selling point is huge. The dorsal plates look beautiful. The tail looks beautiful. It's everything else about the figure that I'm just kind of a little disappointed by. The paint applications on the body specifically are just a little lackluster for me personally, at least compared to what's come before this. It's just very plain looking. There's just not enough bite to it. And I'm kind of let down that we don't have that overspray, the blue overspray, to really give the appearance that he's glowing. And they did on the last Heat Ray figure. So this kind of feels like a step back in terms of paint application specifically. Again, the translucent plastic is a huge game changer, and I'm glad that they did this and are sticking with this for future Heat Ray figures. But in terms of paint, yeah, there's a lot of things on the other figure that I like better that I wish I had seen on this one. But also, frankly speaking, as beautiful as those dorsal plates are, they just aren't that accurate to how it looked in Godzilla vs. Kong. So I would say, if you already own the last Heat Ray figure, I would probably wait for a deep discount on this one. I don't see the merit in owning 2, at least at full price. But the same could be said if you already own this one and you're looking to get the other one. I just don't see, there's just not enough there for me to say, yeah, like you need to own both of these if you already own one. If you don't own either of them, then just pick your poison, really. Both are great Heat Ray Godzilla figures. It's just going to depend more on if you value the translucent dorsal plates more than the look of the figure overall. My figure isn't on a shelf with a lot of lights, so the translucent plastic, while very cool, just doesn't do as much for me as how it looks naturally on a shelf. I think if you're into customizing figures, that this is the one you should get because, again, all I think this really needs is some deeper washes and a little dry brushing, and you have the ideal Monster vs. Heat Ray Godzilla. But who knows? Maybe Hiya will take a third crack at it. What are the odds of that, right? So, until next time, guys, see ya!